So let's see if this Instagram works.
All right.
I think that's what it is. Now, when you press it, oh, it's working today.
It is working.
I think
It is working. We are live. We are live, Coach Bree.
we are live.
Are you up
Welcome.
and running on your side?
Let me see if my Instagram is.
All right. What's up, Audrey? Listen, Audrey is from Cali, and she came out to Charlotte to visit her family. And
Okay.
we actually went and kicked it at one of my spots out here, and it was great. So I love like when someone's in town, tell me you in town because I want to come see you. Tell me you in
Yeah.
town. I want to meet up. I want to link up, right? Right. I want to link up. So it was great. It was great. So let's see here.
I
All right,
don't
let me make
think
sure I'm
I am.
going
Hold
here.
on.
You're not in?
Can you look on my Instagram and see if it says it?
I can. I can.
Because I can see yours, but I don't know if it's.
All right. No, I don't see it. Coach Bree speaks.
No, do a fluent culture.
Okay. You just made it back to Cali. Cool.
Oh, I guess I didn't share the.
No, I don't see it. I don't see it.
It doesn't show you. It says I'm live. It's so weird.
Ari, what's up?
Let me change it real quick.
There we go. All right. It is Tuesday, and it's already been a week.
Yes.
Like, like it's Tuesday, and I'm gonna say it again. It's already been a week.
I feel like we
Right?
say it every Tuesday. Like our weeks just be weekend.
Our week be weekend, but you know what? I remember when I remember working and being like, I'll be so glad when the weekend get here, and then the weekend gets here, and by the time I take a nap on Sunday, it's time for me to get ready for work, and then I got to do it again. So now it's like I'm working every day. I be telling people I start working 50 hours a week so I can work 80 hours a week. You know,
Yes.
but I wouldn't trade this journey for anything. But it's like sometimes be tired. Like sometimes I be tired. So, but it's all good. But Coach Bree, what's going on?
Nothing. It's my baby's birthday. So I have been out with
Congratulations to you.
him. He's 4 years old today. So I hung out with
4.
him. And he's been driving me crazy with these fire trucks and buses and whatever else he got today. So, but it's a good day.
A fire
Last
truck and a bus.
4 years ago, I was like, so
Y'all can keep it. Y'all can keep it. I'm a great auntie. I'm a great big cousin. I'm a great like whatever else I need to be other than the mother to cats. Like mother to cats, I got that. I got that. But all this other stuff, yeah. But good job, Brie. Good job. Like, I saw a little man on IG and he was flexing.
Oh yeah. On that.
But all right, so tonight we're talking about a very important topic. So last week when we jumped on and we were talking about just really setting yourself up financially. But tonight we're going to talk about some things like what happens once you get the bag, right? Yeah. Once you figure out how to get that money, like what's going on after that. So what we really want to focus on is just giving you some tips, giving you some kind of like some life hacks on what to do, how to keep it, how to plan for it, and then go from there. What you bringing, Coach Bree?
Yeah, we bring in just the heat around strategizing and how to, again, keep the bag and, you know, bring in something new to the table. And what does that look like for you? And how do you prioritize it? And just all the goodness of getting your bag and keeping your bag. That's the biggest thing. You want to go. You want to get it and spend it, right? You want to keep the bag.
You go. Oh, let me also, Audrey, I hope you don't mind. Shout out to Audrey also for a huge increase Like she been really working really hard in the program. So huge increase. Like, listen, the first part of all of this is make sure your credit is together.
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure your credit is in place. And I know we teach strategies about how to get business funding without using your personal credit, but your personal credit is still important, right?
Yeah.
Your personal credit is still like, that's what holds your name. So it's very important that you understand, like when we were younger, when we were growing up and they gave us the $300 Capital One card or the $500 Credit One card, and we blew through it because if anybody else was like me, I was like, oh, I got free money.
Of course.
Nah, because then I was in my early 30s trying to figure out what happened here, where collections agency to collections agency, where it's costing me $1,500 just to take care of like that $300 card, right? So just making sure that we got all the strategies in place, making sure that we got everything that we need in place so that we're not having to worry about later on just saying like, oh, okay, I got to play catch up.
Mm-hmm. You and these cats.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. I was like, I had to check to see what the cat was doing. Like,
she see these cats and she be like, hold on, what are you doing? Where are you
going? Like, but look, Jazz just reminded me. Y'all remember, like, I know where my credit first started turning. I know where the first mistake I made with credit.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all remember getting CDs in the mail with Columbia? Out of the book. Out of the book. Right? And you order them and you got all these CDs because they say they cost $1. And then later on, you're like, oh, wait a minute. It's like $100 that you got to pay them. And then you don't pay them. And then it's like, oh, wait a minute. I was actually supposed to pay this. It really wasn't $1. And it'll say, oh, it was $1 for like shipping or something like that. Because we didn't read either. You know, and I know I'm not the only one. Right. Yeah, Archie, I got cats. I got 2 of them. I got 2 kids. Like little baby's kids. But they're so fire. They're so fly. They're so fly. So but Bree, did you buy the CDs off the
see, I tried to, then I got in trouble for trying to buy the CDs. So I didn't really buy the CDs.
Wait, but you got in trouble for
because my mom was like, what are you doing? What are
got
you
doing?
Got it. Like, maybe I shouldn't buy the CDs. So
have it.
But you know, it'd be like that sometimes.
It was like that. And then I think it was like Fingerhut after that, where
Fingerhut.
Yeah. Like I remember being young and I wanted some Timberland boots, but I didn't have the bread to get the Timberland boots. Ooh. So Timberland boots with the construction boots, not the flat bottom boots, the construction boots, right? The construction boots, they were like 120, 125 around then, right? 120, 125. That's about right?
Yeah.
Okay. So 100, 125, somewhere in there. But when I got them from Fingerhut, they were already like $200 at Fingerhut. And then I had to make payments on them.
So how much did you end up spending overall?
Man, including credit repair, like a whole lot. Like it was like some $500 boots.
You got jacked your credit up because that little bitty problem turned into a whole big problem because you didn't get your credit together.
Man, because I promise you, this is still on my credit like 5-6 years ago. So I was like, yeah, Fingerhut. Yes, Fingerhut. I thought I was doing something. Had my fresh Timberlands, man. By the time I finished paying for them things, or the time I thought I finished paying for them, they were raggedy then because you know you can't wear them but a few times. They're not fresh no more. Man, but anyway, enough of my bad habits. Like,
well, hey, we see some people in the room. Hey, Maria. Hey, Leilani. What we got on IG? Who is on IG?
Maria and Leilani on IG. We got Cheryl's. We got Jimmy, we got Audrey, we got Lucky Diane, we got Sheree. Yeah, we having fun over here.
Hey y'all.
Yeah, we got Reggie over here. What's up, Reggie? Yeah. Yeah, we
Okay.
got some family in here. So, all right. So let me stop playing. So let's get to it. Let's
Let's
get to it.
get the bag.
But I'm
That's
glad y'all got a sense of humor. Like, I'm glad that we're able to, let me see, probably spend $700 for the boots. Yeah, them boots, $500-$700, something like that. Yeah,
on them boots. That credit repair
yeah,
was
man. So, but let's talk. Let's talk. So,
Mhm.
drop in the comments who has like a business idea that they're wanting to rock with. Who has a business idea? Let's talk.
Or has a
IG, let me
business.
see you. Or has a business.
Yeah.
Kenneth, what's up? What's
What's up,
up?
Jerry?
Who has a business idea
Or a
that
business
they're or
already.
business or an existing business? And what we got going on? Let's see. Okay. I see fitness instructor.
Okay.
All
Business
right. I see Baker.
Baker
I see consulting.
consulting. What kind of
Jimmy
consulting?
says he has a business and just got denied for a credit card from PNC.
Mm.
Um
Your business probably
so
not built out enough
yeah,
to
it's
be.
probably not built out correctly.
Yeah.
It's all good. Roofing,
Holla at us.
credit repair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Credit
Woo, woo.
repair. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Where
Especially
y'all
like if you
at?
here's the
Trucking.
trucking. Yep. Here's the cool thing about getting denied. When you
Mhm.
get denied for any type of credit, they tell you why.
Yes.
So that means you know exactly what to fix.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come back 30, 45 days later and you just do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. I have an 85 on NAV and 779 personal. So
85 on NAV. But do you have enough trade lines? You can have a high score, but that doesn't mean you have enough trade lines
and that's the
on
same
your
thing with your personal credit too.
Yep. Do you have enough trade lines? Because you can have a really high score. So let's kind of jump into that mode. Like
Okay.
people talk to us all the time about credit,
Yeah.
right? We look
Yeah.
at the different scores. So we can come and we can see a profile with a 750 credit score, right? And then people
Mhm.
are like, why am I still getting denied? A lot of times it's just your profile's not strong enough. You can have a
Mhm.
score and be doing really good on one or two accounts, right?
Mhm.
Which has at that point increased your score. But if you don't have enough train lines or enough built out on your profile, you can still be denied. I have seen people in the 800s get denied. And a lot of times it's because they're like on an authorized user. So they're getting carried by somebody else.
Mhm.
It could be, especially on the business side, you can still get denied if you don't have enough built out. Like if you don't have so many accounts reporting to each bureau. There's a lot of different reasons you can have a really high score and still be denied. That's why it's very essential that you know exactly what your profile is. So when people will be like, hey, Bree, I want credit, and they be like, my credit score is this. I'm like, I need to see the profile though.
Yeah. Yeah, that profile. Because here's the thing, it's like you can have a credit profile and you can even be like I have a 750. And the thing is, your 750 can be what I call ghost credit.
Yep.
Ghost credit where you have like authorized users, you have you bought trade lines off here, you have done whatever, whatever it was you did other than being a primary account on something. And you cannot cut corners when it comes to primary accounts. You cannot cut corners. Now, there are some things that you can sign up for. There are some things that you can add onto your credit. But if you have ghost credit, then you're still not going to get approved because these underwriters, when they're going for these business accounts, it's a little bit different when they're trying to give your business a bag than when they're giving you personally a bag.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that looks a whole lot different. So the person who has a 750 with ghost credit is not going to get approved as far like before the person with a 775 that has a great credit profile and it's aged.
Yes. Age is big, you guys. Age is big on credit. Like they want to know how long you've been having credit, how often you're paying on it. Like they look for so many different key features when it comes to this building out your credit because essentially they don't want to give somebody who's been having credit for 6 months because they really can't judge your payment history, right? They can't determine how responsible you are as a consumer. So our hope is to be able to teach you guys some of the different aspects of credit so that we can actually start having people who actually qualify for things and like, why am I not getting denied? The other cool thing with business credit is you can reapply, like, right? You can reapply for anything, but it's like, you can go and fix those things that they have came back with and said, this is wrong. And you can go back and reapply once you fix those things. So I always say, but don't like get spooked with business credit. Like when I first started my business credit, I was denied for the same car like 5 times. I'm like, what? And the thing was, I just kept thinking like, it was just this time. It was just this time. It was just this time. No, it's like, they telling me exactly what's wrong. But it took the one time that I actually finally went and fixed what they said, I was approved instantly for $20,000. So it's just like, look at it, read it, go through it so that you could understand it, so that you're not just constantly being denied, but actually fixing the things that they are saying that is wrong. Because there's a lot of times.
But also, if you don't understand it, consult somebody.
Yes, ask somebody. Ask for help.
Ask for help. So Jimmy said something very important. He said he has a Granger, a Biz credit card with Chase, and NAV reporting, so only 3. Okay. And then derogatory record or public record, lack of recent installment information, length of time, too few accounts, currently paid as agreed. This is what they said. Okay. So they tell you exactly what it is. So even though you have your credit score is in the 700s, you have some sort of derogatory record on your credit report. If it's lack of recent installment information, that means you don't have enough credit on there. So it was the same thing Coach Bree was just talking about, like you don't have enough trade lines on your personal credit. And the length of time and too few accounts. So the length of time, like your credit is not old enough. So what I would recommend is pull your credit report. And once you pull your credit report, then you're going to be able to make adjustments to all of those things. And then you know exactly what types of accounts to add on. So that's going to help.
And then on his business side, I see that he said he had Granger, and what did he say, NAV, and then something else. Yeah. So 99% of the time you're going to be denied for some of those unsecured funding cards, because what I'm going to assume, I don't know if this is a fact. You can let me know if I'm wrong, Jimmy, but on the business Chase card that you have, I'm pretty sure it's backed by your personal credit. So you don't have enough business funding. Enough business trade lines on your on your business side, because you typically need like 4 Equifax and 5 Experian. There's like a number of trade lines you need to be able to get some of that unsecured funding by itself on your business side. And I'm probably wrong with the numbers. I have them written down. I just can't think off the top of my head, but I can definitely get you the actual factual number of accounts that you need. But that's probably why you're getting denied. You just don't have enough credit on there in order to get approved straight out for that PNC credit card. And
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say also too, Jimmy, do you bank with PNC? Like, do you actually, people sometimes miss out on the importance of relationships with banking. With banks, you should build relationships a lot of times before you actually apply for things. I think that's super important that people have relationships, but it's not the end all be all if you don't. But it is, I do find it is more helpful to have relationships with banks.
PNC is a relationship bank.
Yes.
PNC is a relationship bank. So even if you're just going into PNC, like you still want to vet them. You want to have a personal banker at PNC. You want to go in, you want to talk to somebody. Now, granted, all of this can be done without ever talking to anybody, right? But your approvals are going to be a lot more if someone sees your face, if you have a personal banker. So when we're going, the reason why our funding business works so well is because we actually talk to people, right? So the banks that we're working with, they already know you're coming a lot of times, right? They already know you're coming because we've called a guy that called a guy. So we are able to look out for you in that sense. But it's very important, like if you're trying to do this on your own, that you go ahead and build those relationships. But those relationships, I'm going to tell you something, they're not going to take you seriously until your credit is together.
Yes.
Right. Because if you go in there and you got a 550 credit score and you come in there talking about you building a business, they're going to tell you to go get your credit fixed, right? Or what you need to pay off. So just be mindful of that when you're going in. So get more biz trade lines. And I just opened up an account with PNC. Okay, good.
Start that relationship. Also, fund your accounts, you guys. Put money in these accounts. Like a lot of times I see people with their businesses and they're just not running any money through these accounts, like you need to have some type of transactional history because they want to know like, hey, are you going to even put money here? Are you going to use this bank? They want to see that relationship. And I think like Mo said, that personal relationship, like you should have, I have like my starting five, right? I got my business bank account person. I have my personal banker. Like I need to know when I walk in, they know me. I know them. I know that when they see me, they're like, what you need? And that's how you want it to be. The same thing you should have, like you should have a lawyer, right? You should have certain people in your bag all the time who you know, because that's going to be able to help you longevity to just kind of secure things. Same thing with like life insurance. Like I know these people by name. I know when I call them, I know who I'm talking to, right? So it's super important that you guys build relationships with people who are key to your businesses, also key to your life, right? Because I want to be able to pick up the phone at any given time and call my banker and be like, hey, this happened. I don't want to be on the 1-800 number trying to figure out who I'm going to talk to and X, Y, and Z, because it's just such an important thing to have relationships. So we're super big on relationship building. And if you do not know or have your bankers or your life insurance or your lawyers, whoever you need on your team, in your phone to be able to pick up and dial, like you need to work on some more relationship building because that's super important. Like, y'all think Wells Fargo and they don't have bankers because Wells Fargo don't bank with themselves, y'all. Like, so you want to just kind of keep relationships in mind. Who in here has a banker? Drop that in the chat. Do you have a banker? Do you know your banker? Who has a banker? And if you don't have
someone that they can go to,
say I want one.
Who can walk into the bank and say, I want to speak to Joseph.
Yeah, who has a banker? And if you don't have one, drop I want one or I need one.
Yeah.
Who has a banker?
So I'm going to challenge you, right? I'm going to challenge you. So go into the local branch of your bank, right? Because that's actually where you need to start building relationships at, right? Go into your primary bank and say, hey, who's in charge of, accounts? Who's in charge of opening new accounts? And figure out who it is and ask them questions. Ask them like, why should I continue to keep my money here?
Yeah.
And then start building a relationship with them, right? So, and then start like just really vetting them and say, hey, well, what makes you different than other banks? Get them to tell you what stands out. Now, granted, you're going to need multiple banks. In your funding journey, you're going to need multiple banks. So some banks are good for some things and others for others, right? But make these banks tell you why you need them or you need to bank with them. You need to spend your money there, right? Get them to vet you or you vet them. So, but also go in with the intent that you're already a business owner, right? You're a business owner. So when you're a business owner, there are certain moves that you're going to need to make. And like I used to have a bank that wasn't open on the weekends. Sometimes I might need something on the weekends, right? Or sometimes I might try to do something on the weekends, right? But it's just making sure that you have those connections in play, making sure, like Coach Bree said, let me reiterate this. Make sure you have an insurance person, somebody you can call up. Make sure you have, we call it a guy. Make sure you got a guy for this.
Right? Guys, okay. You gotta have that team. It's so important.
You gotta have a team. You gotta have a team. If you're building a business, make sure you have somebody who's gonna hook you up with merchant processing. Make sure you have somebody that's your ads guy. Make sure you got a guy that's doing your automations or whatever you need. Make sure that you got a guy that's your VA. And your guy doesn't have to be a guy. It can be a woman, right?
But, your marketing team, everything, because people forget. And I think it's so important that we just constantly remember, you cannot go, if you have a dream, your dream is not big enough if you can do it by yourself. And that's truly how I feel. Your dream is not big enough if you can do it by yourself. And the reason I said that is because when we go into business, I don't feel like anybody on this call said, I want to work for myself for the rest of my life by myself. I know I didn't, right? I didn't get up and say, I'm going to start this business today and I'm going to be here every day and working here and do a 9 to 5. Like Mo said earlier on the call, I didn't give up 40, 50 hours to work 90. Like I'm doing it now because I'm trying to build a foundation. But you need to hire. You need to be okay with hiring. People always say, Bree, well, what if somebody takes my vision? Somebody does this. I tell people, this is my favorite line, and I do this for everybody. If in my business, there's a lot of key components, right? There's a lot of different things. There's marketing, there's processing, there's this, there's that. I make one person the best person at that one job. So that when I tell, because if Mo works for me, if Mo's my salesperson, guess what? Mo is going to be the best salesperson on my team. Ain't nobody going to tell Mo she ain't the best salesperson. So build
Ain't
your
nobody
thing.
gonna tell Mo she ain't the best
Mo's
salesperson.
the best salesperson, period, y'all. Mo can sell air. I promise y'all she can sell air. But what I'm trying to get you to realize is you can't worry about somebody stealing something, right? You can have NDAs in places. You can have NDAs in place, but you want to make that person or that team of people the experts in that area of business. Because they're not going to worry about what the person in HR is doing, because they know they're the best in this field. My VA, my staff are amazing. And I tell them they're amazing. You are the very best person in this position, babe. You got this. You did that. And I'd be happy because they really work hard, because they value that position in their business. So again, to reiterate, your dream is not big enough if you can do it alone. So how big is your dream? Do you really have a dream that's big enough to flourish and grow?
Absolutely. It's like when we have team meetings, like I gas my team up, and it's because I want them to be hyped, but they're already hyped because they know they're doing a good job. They know they're going to crush it. It's that confidence that comes along with knowing you're crushing it. Like if you're so good at something, name something, drop something in the chat that you're so good at. You already know, like nobody's touching me on this. Nobody's touching me on this. You know what I'm saying?
You bomb at it. Come on.
You going in and crushing it, right? Drop something in the chat where you crushing it. You already know. Nobody can tell you anything otherwise, right? You already know you crushing it. This is your lane. This is nobody's pushing you out of it. You know you the man when you walk through, right? Drop something in the chat where you already know this is your lane. And you should go in with that, right? So in your business, yes, you should know how to do everything. But if you're going to grow your brand and grow your money, you can't do everything, right?
Okay,
so you should know how.
Cooking tacos. Okay, cooking tacos. I know that's right.
I like it.
Tacos.
I like it. When we're linking up.
we always ready. That's my girl too. Come on, girl, you gonna cook? Let's cook. My t-shirts and tumblers. Okay, so you a t-shirts and tumblers. What we got on IG?
Yes. So in IG we got talking. In IG we got roofing.
Yes.
In IG we have ads. Sean just stepped in, and I know in the car lane, nobody's touching Sean and selling cars. Sean. Right? Nobody's touching cars. If you need a car, go to Sean. Right? Nobody's touching cars and sell. Like nobody's touching Sean. Right? So that's his lane. That's his thing. So right, just know you got to know your thing. And that's part of just understanding how to grow your money, right? Because if you're doing only what you're good at, then you're able to scale that, right? Because everything else you can outsource. Everything else, let me see, cooking in general. There you go, cooking. So everything else, like if you have inside of your business, if you have like where you have the marketing aspect, you have the admin tasks that need to be taken care of, you need sales. If I'm only wanting to handle my marketing, I got somebody for admin tasks, I got somebody in sales so that I can do my own marketing. That's it. You do what you want to do so that you can scale it, because if not, it's going to take the fun out of it. And I don't know about y'all, but when I stop having fun, then I don't want to do it. Yeah. I don't want to do it no more.
What you're good at. Know what you're good at. Know what you're good at and be proud of what you're good at. Like, you don't have to be good at everything. And I always tell you, if you're the smartest person at the table, you at the wrong table anyway, right? So get people who are better than you at something. And that's good. Like, Mo, no. I hate when it comes to like all the build outs and automations and all that. And I'm like, find somebody else to do it. I ain't doing it. She won't even let me touch nothing, y'all. She'd be like, I got it, Brie. Don't worry about it. I'd be like, cool, no worries. But I know what I'm good at. I'm good at connecting. I'm good at resources. I'm good at finding information. I'm a good researcher. I can find a connection to anything.
And you're an organizer.
And I'm an organizer. I am. Like, I'm big on putting things together. So I'm gonna do what I'm good at, and she's gonna do what she's good at, and we're gonna bring it together to make an empire that's amazing. So it's like, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm listening. I was about to call out some IG people. Okay, so, that's Charles. I was trying to figure out who negative was. That was Charles. Okay.
Hey, Charles.
And what's up, Charles? And let me see. Audrey says she's an amazing motivator with a God-given gift of encouraging and leading. Admin is also my strong point. Exactly. So, when it comes to the motivation and that admin line, you crushing it. Like, nobody's going to come bump you out. Nobody's going to come bump you out. You're already good. Right. But it's just making sure that you're confident enough to only do that thing. Right. And understand, like, yeah, you can do other things, but you don't have to do other things, because I promise you, somebody else is going to be 10 times more productive just because they want to do it. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. Right. So, but let's get back to this credit thing, Bree. Okay. So listen, Bree always tell me that we need talking points because we need to stay on track.
All over the place, but it's okay because y'all be encouraging us.
But we family, so I just feel like we can talk. Right.
We want this a safe space for you guys. We want you to ask questions. We want you to be engaged because we're doing this for y'all, right? Me and Mo talk every day. I don't need to talk to her again at all. No. But we here for y'all. We want to be able to give you the information that you all need to be successful in this business world. And I think a lot of times people are so used to people selling to them. Like, we want to have real conversations. We want to be able to shift your mindset that you are worthy of wealth. You are worthy to be in this space. You are worthy to have access to everything that you want access to. But we have to realize with access comes sacrifices, right? With access comes changes and being in a different mindset in order to obtain it. So the credit conversation is such a passionate conversation for us because we just see so many people who act like it's nothing until they need it. And that's where the problem comes in, right? Because it's like, you waited all this time and now you want to fix it. And now you want me to be this miracle worker who's going to fix your credit in 30 days. You didn't mess it up in 30 days. So when it comes to credit, I just want to ask a question. What is the one thing on your credit that you feel like is holding you back? Is it collections? Is it charge-offs? Tell me something. Is it late payment? Just drop one thing in the chat. What is something on your credit that's holding you back? One thing. Drop it in the chat.
I see collections. I see late payments. I see student loans. Okay. I got you.
Student loans.
Right.
That's my game, y'all.
Student loans. Man, y'all. Student loans hitting people in the head like crazy. Right. Let's talk about that for a second. Right. Like, if you have there are so many people on IG talking about remove your student loans. Let me warn you, be very careful about removing your student loans from your credit, because the problem is your student loans are probably the oldest thing on your credit.
Yes.
So really, it's like you're going to need to evaluate before you start removing your student loans off your credit. Look at that thing and see how old it is. If your credit consists of the oldest thing being your student loans, do not remove your student loans. You don't have to remove your student loans, right? You don't have to remove them, because the reality is, even if you remove them, you still got to pay them.
Yeah.
That's the part that they don't tell you. Even with removing your student loans, you still have to pay them.
Still owe them. Okay. And that's almost anything on you guys' credit, you guys. Like, to be transparent, like I tell you all the time, just because it's gone don't mean you don't owe it.
Doesn't mean you don't owe it. Right. It just means they're not really hitting you in the head for it right now. Right. So it's like with your credit, there are certain things that you're going to come across more on your credit. Like right now we're seeing, let's see, I see charge-offs. I see more student loans. Yep. With charge-offs, we're seeing a big influx in charge-offs because here's what's happened, right? All these collections agencies. So the CARES Act is over now, right? The CARES Act is where the government or where these agencies could basically come rob you. The government stopped them from basically come robbing you during the time of COVID. Now the CARES Act is over. Okay. So what we're seeing is an uptick in collections and charge-offs because these collections agencies and these lending agencies are tired of folks, right? So they're sending folks to collections. And just because this stuff comes off of your credit doesn't mean that you don't have to pay them. So later on down the road, if you have Amex that was taken off of your credit because you didn't pay them, right, then you can't apply for Amex again. It doesn't mean you don't owe them.
Not now, anyway.
Right. It doesn't mean you don't owe them. Get them a little time, right? It's like a relationship. Get them a little time. Let them take a breather. Come back with a business, and then go in again.
Come back with something, right? Show up
with that business.
Show up different. At least come with a good credit score at that point. Like, go is on.
Know you got yourself together, right? Let them know you got yourself together. So it's like just understanding the points of your credit. So I assume that everybody who is on this call has pulled their credit report before. Okay. If you have not pulled your credit report, make sure you send Bria DM.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have not pulled your credit report before, right? If you have pulled your credit report before and you don't know exactly what to do on it, make sure you send Bria a DM. Okay. So, because here's the thing, right? We're wanting these different things in our life. We're wanting things to go differently, but one thing has to change, right? It's the mentality and how we think about money. And a huge part of how we think about money is our spending habits, the habits that got us good credit, right? I'm not the same Monica that had the 500 credit score. I had to become a different version of myself. If you have a 500-600 credit score now, that's not going to be you. You're not going to be that same version of yourself when you have a 700 credit score.
I promise you not.
If you're renting now and you're wanting to own, it's going to take a different version of you to own than it did to rent. There's more responsibility in there. Okay. So, exactly like Navy Federal. Navy Federal said, nope, you still owe them. Right?
Ain't playing with you.
It's because these banks are relationship banks.
Does everybody in here, does anybody not know how to actually read their credit report? Does the people in this group know how to read their credit report? So I know it's not taught. And I want you guys, again, this is a safe space because we want people to understand, like, we know, especially in the African-American community, this is not taught. Or it was taught very seldomly. Like, a lot of people didn't know about it. So do you know how to read a credit report? Do you know what to look at? Do you know what to look for? Anybody in here, like, I just don't really know. And that's okay.
And that's okay. Like,
be transparent about that so that we can be that assistance to you. Because if we got to do a video on how to read it, we want to help. We want to make sure people help.
Yeah, we'll make that. Right. Like, there are one of the most important things on a credit report is under each account, it has a list of months. And those months are either going to be something like green or red, or it's going to say yes and okay, or a red space, something like that. Right. So under those, it's going to tell you whether you were paying them on time or whether you weren't. That's going to be the most important things on that credit report, right? That your personal information, making sure that all your personal information is correct, right? How many people know that you can actually take your personal information off? Because some of your good personal information might be on there and it might be correct. But what we do is we take their personal information off and add it back on so it's a different record number, right? So because each piece of personal information you have has its own number to it. So when we got if my name says Monica Allen now, then that Monica Allen is attached to another account that's negative. I need to take that off. I need to go through and spell my name Monica middle initial Allen before I apply for something else. And then come back and then say, hey, my name is just Monica Allen, right? So that they have a different record on there for me, because some of these accounts are still being attached to all of this personal information. Some people have 10 addresses on there. So when you go and apply for something, they're not about to give you nothing because you done lived in 10 places. They don't know where to find you.
They like, where you going to be at?
Where
And
you
people
at?
need to, one thing I want to say about credit reports is people have to realize a credit report is almost like imaginary, right? It's not real. It's a whole bunch of data points that are collected at the time that you actually go and pull the report. Think about when you go pull a report today and then tomorrow you go pull it again, right? And now you're like, but wait, that wasn't on there yesterday. That's because it's literally a combination of data points. It's not like in a file at this agency where they're keeping a copy of your credit report. That's why it's very important to monitor your credit, because you don't know. Like my name is Brianna. It's a very common name, but it's spelled Brianna. Sometimes they put it Brianna or Breanna. And people don't realize, like, oh, well, that's just maybe how they a variation. No, because if that name is linked to somebody else with that same exact name as you in a different spelling, that person's information can also be reporting to your credit bureaus. So you want to really make sure that every single piece of information on that credit report is you. Like, not a whole bunch of different variations. Your middle name should be spelled differently, because all it is every time you put is data points being drawn. It's a whole bunch of information being drawn saying, oh, yep, that looks like her. That looks like her. That looks like her. And it's like, boop, this is who we got.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want to be this person who don't know basically your identity. Who are you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
but you know, it's like, let me see what we got. Sure did. Yep. And well, there you have it. They don't know where to find me.
they're like, don't find me.
They don't know where to find me. That thing, they all them addresses, they think you the ops out here. So but the thing is, it's like, it's really important just knowing exactly what's on your credit report. Even if you're choosing not to do anything about it, know exactly what's on your credit report. Because then when somebody else tells you, like when you go and apply for something, you know why you're denied. So that when by the time you get to, if you decide you're going to do something about it, that you don't have 100 inquiries. I saw 167 inquiries the other day. Oh, 167 inquiries.
You ain't getting the proof for nothing. I don't care if you got an 800 credit score, you still ain't getting the proof for nothing, because they look
167 inquiries.
Wow.
Like, and my only question was, after 166 times, you ain't know they weren't gonna give you nothing. You had to try one more time.
One more again, Mom.
Try one more time, right? But those things are important, you know. So you got to make sure that if you have things like, think about it from the banking point of view. All right, so Coach Bree, you gonna loan me some money, right? I can no. Let me take it a step further. I said, hey, Coach Bree, I need a credit card with a $20,000 limit. Okay. I got a decent credit score. It's all right. I got a couple things, you know, it could be better, right? But then you see where on all three bureaus, I got 20 inquiries. So this means that I've been going around like Ezell and just begging. You're just walking around just begging. You gonna give me some money? You gonna give me some money? Are you gonna give me some money? And that's what it looks like to the banks.
Yes.
So you do not want to make it look like you just been out here begging.
You only supposed to have 1 to 2 inquiries a year, y'all. 1 to 2 a year. So anytime I see, heck, more than 5, I'm like, what you looking for? What you trying to get? Because it's still denied. It still didn't work. So what we shopping for?
Yeah.
So 1 to 2 a year. So 167 is insane. And I would absolutely not give you no money, Mo, because I'm gonna be like, well, wait, can I find you? Is your address is up to date?
Yeah. Yeah. Even if it was 167, like, man, come on. Like, you out here just playing. But no, what it is, a lot of it was he went to 3 different car dealerships. And each one of those car dealerships ran his credit like 25 times. And like 25 times per dealership. Now, don't ask me about the other 100 times that he had his credit ran. I don't know about that. But
but a secret, y'all. So if you go to a car dealership and you're shopping for a car, at least do it all within the same time period, because it does take off. It's only considered one hit to your credit bureau, even though you have like multiples. Okay. So shop, if you're going to buy a car, shop at that same time. But get a pre-approval, y'all. Y'all need to start getting pre-approved for stuff.
Get a pre-approval.
Go to your credit unions, go to these banks that you bank with, your relationship banking. Remember, we talked about that, relationship banking, because now when you walk into the dealership, you own the room. You control that. You control that conversation because you already have the money accessible to you. The reason why them car dealerships be playing y'all is because you ain't coming with no money. You ain't coming in there with nothing. So you got to come in there and say like, okay, I got 25,000. I got 40,000. This is what I'm trying to get. Also, you work on your negotiation skills, y'all. People need to realize you can negotiate. There is things that you can negotiate on. Speak up for yourself. When I bought my car, I'm like, okay, I ain't paying that. Y'all ain't adding that to this car because y'all tell me I need this for this. And why do I need that? Speak up for yourself. Know what you're getting into, right? Don't just walk in and just go for anything. Because now they done told you your trade, your little beat was added on the thing for $8,000, but then all of a sudden the total went from 25,000 to 33,000, and you like, but what the car was only 25,000 because you told me you took off 8,000.
You over there bamboozled.
You over here looking crazy.
Yeah, you didn't got bamboozled.
You done got played.
Yeah.
So you got to learn how to read, y'all. Take your time. I know you're excited, but like know what you're getting yourself into, because there's sometimes like they be adding stuff to these cars and you be like, I didn't even ask for that. How we get there? So pre-approvals, relationship banking pre-approvals come from relationship banking, right? So make sure you have your banker, right? Talk to them about your plans. So that can lead us into our next conversation. What are your financial goals, right? What are you trying to work on?
Let me touch on one more thing. Like if you're going to shop for a car, most of these dealerships that you're going to, then they already have their own financing. Like GM has their own financing. Lexus has their own financing. Ford has their own financing. You can get financed through them directly through pre-approvals. That way, when you go to the dealership, you're not even telling them you got money, because if you tell them you got 40,000, they're going to spend all 40,000.
Yes, they are.
Right. So you're telling them exactly what you want, but also letting them lead you to the best deal possible. And then that's when you let out that you got money. But Bria is absolutely 100% correct on working on your negotiation skills, because you need negotiation skills on every part of your life. Yes. Right. You need negotiation skills. If you're trying to get another job, you need to negotiate how you're going to get more money. If you have kids, y'all be negotiating all the time with them kids. Right. These cats, me and these cats be negotiating. Right. Me and Jazz be negotiating. So it's like you have to have negotiation skills through life. Right. So just make sure that you're incorporating that. And if y'all want to do a whole thing on negotiation skills and sales, we can do that too. Right. We can do that too.
So, but y'all some air, y'all. She gonna sell the air, the water, all the free stuff. She gonna sell you. I ain't never met somebody so cold in sales, y'all. Mo is just a beast when it comes to. I'm like, you should be just selling everything. Just stand on the corner and sell it all, because she just be getting
stand on the corner and sell it all. Wait, what all I'm selling on the corner? Hold up.
Some water, some Kool-Aid. But for sure, you guys, like, negotiate. Know what you're going in for. Have a plan. Like, I don't understand why people go into dealerships kind of half tail. Like, you don't even know what you want. You just walk in and be like, give me anything. I'll take whatever you got. And it's like,
but I'm going to get something. I just need something to get me from where, Bree? Point A to point B.
But where's what about point C, Mo? Where's point C at? Because I want to get there too.
I just need point A to point B. Right. So, but
$800 car notes and telling me credit repair too expensive. Boy.
Phew. You were talking about structuring your finances, Brie, before I interrupted you.
Yes. So, I was talking about, what are your financial goals, right? Like, what are you guys working for? Everybody drop in the chat for me. What is one thing you're working on right now that you're trying to obtain in your life financially? What is something that you're working on?
What y'all working on?
What y'all working on? Drop one thing in the chat.
Business credit.
Business credit. Okay.
Starting a business. Okay.
Starting a business.
Losing weight. I feel you.
Okay.
No.
Healthy eating. I hear you.
Healthy eating.
Yay. Saving money. Chantella said saving money. No, that's right. Investment property. Yeah. There we are. All right. I like it. Financial freedom. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Financial freedom.
Yes.
So tell me what's one thing that you feel like is stopping you from achieving that goal. Drop one thing that's stopping you from achieving that financial goal today. One thing.
Chantella, I spend money. What you be spending money on, Chantella?
She do be spending all the money.
Man,
What
me,
they saying on IG? What they saying?
They saying the income is the problem right now.
Okay.
And I get that. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all, look, so it's no secret that I be going to the gym every morning. But then y'all, I get on IG and I see all this big back food and I want to go make it. Right? Like I got to have it. Got to have it. Right? So it's just like for me, it's really just putting down that discipline, right? Just having that discipline. So every now and then I make it and we'll see a little results. So just like having all of that and being able to just prioritize those results and continuously getting those results and doing that just, for yourself. Let me see what they're talking about. Audrey said, I work hard for my employer, but not hard enough on getting my business up and rolling. I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
That we see it a lot. We see that a lot with business owners.
I hear you. That was me too, man. Yo, I remember being at work and that was before I moved to Charlotte. This is when I was working in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. It's 2 hours away from Charlotte. I remember leaving home in Charlotte at 6 o'clock in the morning so I could get to work in Chapel Hill at 8 o'clock so I could get off at like 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening and barely having time for like a lunch break because I ran 2 offices. And I just remember like working like that. And I do not miss that, even though I probably work the same hours, if not more. But there's something about having that flexibility and really saying, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to put more work into this business than I put into my own business. Right. And really just establishing just some laws about yourself. Right. In therapy the other day, this is what I heard. Laws. Like you yourself need to have some laws and some things that you live by and some things that you're going to do and not going to do. And some things that you are really going to stand by and really going to put your name on. Right. So write that stuff down for yourself. So write that down.
I would challenge you guys too to all make your do not list, right? Because we all have a to-do list. But what about your not to-do list, right? Or do not list? Because I feel like sometimes our to-do list is longer than that list that you shouldn't be doing all the time. So stop procrastinating. That could be something on it, right? Being more disciplined with your time. Because one thing that I feel that really took me away from working that job was the fact that I had to start creating a flow. Me and Mo are big on this, work blocks and creating space in our lives to be able to have the things that we want to have. So every day when I get up, I know that I need to do meditation. I know that I need to feed me. I need to feed me first before I get into this world. I know that I need to set aside time to check my emails, to respond to emails, to work on the website, to work on these things. So if you want to be successful, you may not have the capacity all right now because you're working a 9 to 5, but there's 24 hours in a day. And you could spend that same amount of time that you're using to watch TV or to do this or to do that and say, you know what, I'm going to take an hour today to go research a little bit more on my business. I'm gonna take an hour today, work on that website. I'm gonna fill out this paperwork. Little pieces, y'all, will get you a whole lot further. I always tell people, I hate the word busy. You're not busy, because busy are people who are unproductive. Because if I'm busy, that just means I'm going and going. I'm trying to figure out what the next thing is. But my life is scheduled. I know what I have going on in the next hour. I know what I need to do in the next 20 minutes or the next 4 hours. I know what my life looks like, so I consider my life full. So when people ask me what you got going on, my day's a little full today, baby. I can't do nothing for you today. So you need to take in that full word and say, I'm going to be productive and plan stuff so that I can fulfill the things in my life that I need. So you're not busy, you're full, because a busy person's just mind is just going. You just constantly running. Fill up that schedule. Know what you got going for the day. My extra hour has me online shopping. Okay, so you need to get off of line shopping.
Yeah.
Something else to do with your time, right? If you want to be productive. So how do we change a bad habit to a good habit, right? Or if you go
one thing is like having some accountability, right? Like me and my partner, we share an Amazon account. The reason why we share Amazon, yeah. So imagine you get something from, and we have a joint email account for like house bills and stuff like that, right? So imagine me ordering, and that Amazon account is attached to the joint email. So imagine me ordering something and the confirmation goes to the joint email. And then if it's something that don't really make sense, I got to stand there and figure out and how to explain why I'm ordering this that don't make sense. Right? I got to explain that. And I don't like to explain myself. So I'd be like, you know what? I'm not even going to order it, because I'm not going to set up a separate Amazon account just to go all. I'm not going to do all that. I'm not going to, because that's one more thing to keep up with. I'm not going to do it. Right? So set you up some things that's going to make you accountable and going to hold you accountable. Right? So homework for this week. Let's do homework.
Let's do it.
Your
not to do list.
Not to do list. And 3 laws for yourself.
3 laws for yourself. What 3 laws are you going to say about?
3 laws for yourself.
Build a relationship. Build a relationship. You have 7 days. So we don't come back until next Tuesday. So we giving a couple pieces of homework, because some of this stuff some of this stuff can be done tomorrow. Some of this stuff can be done, in a couple of days. What we got over there?
But we want to respect time. And we still have the list of things that everyone wanted to talk about last week. So this week was one of those things. So listen, let's talk about business funding real quick, right? If you have a business, or you do not have a business and you want a business and you need funding for that business, or even set up for that business, 100kfunding.net. Okay. 100kfunding.net. Right. So go to 100kfunding.net and fill out the information there. And we're going to get in contact with you to make sure we get everything set up for you. But we're excited for you. We're excited that you're here. We're excited that you stopped by. We're excited. My IG family be showing up for me. I appreciate that.
We love it.
Yeah. So I appreciate that. But make sure that you get in the room. We're going to do this again next week. We'll be back Tuesday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. So if y'all have something that you want to talk about, then send us a DM. I'm Mo the Closer on all of the channels. This is Coach Bree. She's on IG as Coach Bree Speaks and at Affluent Culture. And both of us are on Facebook. You are Brianna
Barnes Mobley
on Facebook.
She's slipping on her stuff today. Yes, she is at Mo the Closer
on Facebook. So make sure you connect with us. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us and let us know. But other than that, y'all have a good night.
We appreciate y'all. Hope you got something out of it. Let you have a wonderful week, and we will see y'all next week. 100K funding. Hope to see y'all there. Have a good night, y'all.